My name is Andreas Engesvik. I live in Oslo and I work as a designer full-time. I think the most important role is that we can make the manufacturers and people aware of the importance of quality and the importance of responsibility in a way, that the things that we produce and take forward always need to be a part of the real world, but in a very responsible way. I think the design field has a bad reputation, but once you look into it, you will see that there is also a lot of, what shall I say, responsibility in many of the projects and a lot of the designs that we see today. The role being a designer is sometimes so diverse and so complicated, and in a way every project is always a new project, so you have to be flexible and to readjust all the time to the types of projects that you're working with. And I think that once you work in a team with different people, you tend to enter new fields and become more multidisciplinary in a way. That's at least my experience. I could be responsible in terms of being a designer, because it's then, in my viewpoint, it was so much about consumption and all negative aspects of being a consumer. But today I can see that the design business is really just a small part of the total manufacturing of goods that we can see on a global basis. So I think that what's important is that the products that has a good quality can learn people something about function and quality. It may sound, saying that it's a bit like kicking in open doors, but I think the design industry is marginal, but there is the objects are important because they can make people realize that quality is important, and in that way we can reduce consumption. For me, it's very much about how well the things work. If you buy a potato peeler that is sharp and works very well, you tend to always use the same potato peeler, and you don't want to throw it away or replace it because it works very well. So for me, that's very much about function, but of course also more typical qualities, like how you connect to the product, what connotations it gives, and your motivation for owning it. That's always very personal and in a way difficult to explain. Yes, I think so. I think it is. I bought some chairs from Vitra last year, and they came with a 30-year warranty. And I think a 30-year warranty is a beautiful thing. Working with some businesses, it's important to make manufacturing units understand the contribution designers or the knowledge designers has, and the important contribution that we can give into a process. As a designer, during your work life, you have to take some kind of political standpoint in terms of what businesses you want to work with. Because there are, of course, more responsible businesses than others, but I think it's important to find out what you want to do and how you want to work. Yeah, I mean, that's also a common reflection that you have to do in other occupations. Also not if you're not only an architect or a designer, but I think you have to always like find out what's ethical important for yourself, and to make cheap stuff for the crowds, or if you want to like work with more serious development and more conscious development. I've been thinking a lot about that lately, and I think what inspires me is, or how I measure success is that, in a way, the quality that you get into the quality on the project that you're working with. I mean, I was very impressed by the Burlex brothers chair for Magis, and I'm impressed by the products that Vitra show, but that's very much about that you want to work with a serious manufacturer that are able to do advanced stuff that lasts for a long time and adds this super quality to the products. It's not like making a small side table for a Italian manufacturer is not important for me. It's important to work with projects that are developed over time and that comes from a serious manufacturer. I mean, the technical aspect is work more with serious businesses and develop better products where you have a focus on true quality and technique.